Back. We're almost 8 weeks into a full year challenge. So I have 3 separate portfolios and they're all run at the same time. And honestly, the numbers are starting to speak for themselves. But real quick, if you're new here, the channel is at investing, so every day is Saturday. I know that's a mouthful, and that's not just a name, that's the whole mission. So, kind of think about how you grew up. Monday through Friday was school. Sunday night, you were already laying out your clothes, packing your bag, mentally checking out for the weekend before it was even over, right? And Saturday was the one day that felt completely free. And that never really goes away. Most of us just swap out school for work. Friday hits and you finally exhale. Saturday you wake up and you're not dreading anything. No alarm you didn't set yourself. No commute. No one telling you where to be. But then Sunday afternoon rolls around and that feeling starts creeping back in. Sunday doesn't even feel like a full day anymore. You're already mentally halfway into Monday. I feel like that every single Sunday. So now that, I know not everybody works on Monday through Friday. Some people do shifts, weekends, nights, but you know the feeling. So whatever your schedule looks like, there's always that day that feels free. And there's always that moment when the weight of that obligation starts setting back in. And that's what this channel is trying to change. Investing is really about building the kind of freedom where a Tuesday feels like a Saturday if you wanted to, where a job becomes optional, not a requirement, and where Sunday night is just Sunday night. No dread, no prep, just another evening. So that's the goal, and this challenge is just one piece of the puzzle. So let's check the numbers. But real quick, before we do that, a quick disclaimer. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, broker, or investment professional. The results shown reflect my personal experience and are not guaranteed. All investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always do your own research and consult a financial professional before making any investment decisions. All right, let's get into it here. All right, so if you're new here, real quick, the whole challenge was simple. So we took the same starting amount, split it across 3 different investing strategies, and we run them side by side for a full year and see how they actually perform. So there's no guessing, no vibes, just data. So we got the growth engine, the income engine, and the safety net. And each one is doing its own thing. So let's check out how they're doing. All right, here's where we're sitting at week 7-ish, going on week 8. So we have the growth engine sitting at 1528.57. That's up 0.21% today. This one's holding VGT, VXUS, and VTI, the broad tech international exposure and total US market. VGT and VXUS are both green. VTI has been a little choppy, but that's kind of expected right now. And then we have the income engine. That's the best daily mover of the 3 engines right now. This one's running AIPI, JEPQ, and ROCQ. They're all high income ETFs designed to throw off cash consistently. So these dividends, the dividend reinvestment is quietly doing its thing right there in the background. So let me real quick show you kind of what my Robinhood account is looking like with those. All right, so here we are. You can see the growth engine, income engine, and safety net up there on top. So we'll go into the income engine as an example. Let's look at AIPI. And you'll see that on June 18th, it had dividends of $3.33. So this one pays out weekly dividends. And you'll see here I already have the AIPI set up on a weekly buy of $10. And that's for all 9 of the ETFs. So let's take a quick look here at the history. So we want to see dividends. So we've been up and running almost 8 weeks. Excuse me. And you'll see that we had 284, 314, 309, and 333 in dividends. And we'll start seeing about $3 or more every single week. And that will go right back into the stock and just keep investing right into that same asset. All right, so that's every payout gets recycled right back in. So that's the snowball effect for real. Then you have the safety net. And that's at 1453.91. Let me go back to the slides here. All right, so that's, like I said, 1453.91. That's up 0.02% today. But that's kind of the point. This engine holds USHY, IBHF, and SCHD. It's a mix of high yield bonds and then that dividend one that most people know, SCHD. It's been around for a long time, kind of rock solid over the last few years. Probably see a lot of YouTubes on SCHD. It pays about 3 to 4% dividend, but it's pretty steady. So it's not supposed to, this whole safety net's not supposed to go to the moon. It's just supposed to sit there, stay stable, and then not stress you out. It's kind of just doing exactly what it's been doing. All right, so now here's something I want to be transparent about. So this isn't just set it and forget it challenge. You know, I'm actively feeding these engines every week. So every Tuesday, I had set up $90 will go on automatically. So that's automatically done every Tuesday without me doing anything else. $10 will go into each ETF across all three engines, and that's it. It's consistent, same day every week. No thinking about it, because if I thought about it, I'd probably stop doing it. But this Wednesday is a little different and kind of like some other weeks. DoorDash, we made $211 for the week. And then I sold some kettlebells on the Facebook Marketplace for $55. I should probably use those to work out, but they were just sitting there collecting dust. So I thought that I should make some money off of it instead. And then, so I'm rounding up $4 to make it an even $270. So that way I can put $30 into each ETF on Wednesday. So that's just adding more to it. So and that's kind of the point to this whole channel. You don't need the perfect salary or a bonus check to invest. Side hustles, selling stuff that you don't use anymore, gig work, all of it can be put to work. So every dollar has a job now. So that's $270, not just sitting in a checking account or me just spending it on tacos or something. So it's actually going straight into these engines. All right, so here is what I've been noticing. So it's kind of interesting to watch. So the growth and the income engines are running almost neck and neck. So we're talking about a $13 difference right now between those two, and it's been about 8 weeks. So the growth engine has more upside potential with VGT, the VXUS, and the VTI, but the income engine, AIPI, JEPQ, and ROCQ, has been more consistent on a day-to-day basis and a lot less swings on their pricing. A more steady cash flow coming in. The dividends pay out on AIPI every week. And then JEPQ and ROCQ are monthly. Yeah, monthly. And then, so that's kind of the whole point of these picks. They're not chasing big gains. They're generating income regularly. And then that income is reinvesting automatically. And then the safety net with USHY, IBHF, and SCHD is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. SCHD especially, that's one of the most trusted dividend ETFs out there. And combined with the bond exposure from USHY and IBHF, this engine's built to hold steady no matter what the market's doing. All right, so if I could go back to week 1 and talk to myself, I'd just say don't overthink it. When you start overthinking it, you want to make some rash decisions. So the hardest part of this challenge hasn't been the investing. It's been leaving it alone because I want to look at it all the time. So not refreshing the app every hour and then not freaking out when VTI or any of the stocks dip down a few cents. The system works when you let it work, and that's kind of the whole point of this blueprint. All right, so that is week 7 going on 8. So we're still early in this year-long challenge, and I genuinely can't wait to see how these 3 engines finish as we hit month 12. So every dollar is working in the background. That's one step closer to that Saturday feeling, to feeling like every day is a Saturday. So no Sunday night dread, no mentally checking out before the weekend or the week even starts or the weekend ends. Just options, and that's really what this is all about. And it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. But as much as I can add in there and build it up, the sooner this can happen. So whatever you're doing, try to get those side hustles or whatever income or extra income you can put in there and just invest it. Just it's important to get started. So if you haven't already, go back and watch the original video where I broke down how each engine works and why I set them up this way. And if you would, drop a comment and tell me which engines you would prefer to put your money in right now. Growth, income, or safety. I'm kind of curious where you all would stand or if you would do all of them. And then subscribe if you want to follow a full year journey at Investing So Every Day is Saturday, because every day should feel like a Saturday. I'll see you on the next update.